Welcome, I am here to answer some of the most commonly Googled questions about Shabbat, which incidentally happen to be about the Shabbat candles. So let's go right into it. The first question is, can Shabbat candles be scented? You know those candles that smell really good? So can these candles be scented? And the answer is, of course, no problem. As long as candles give off the light that shines up the house for Shabbat, that's fine. It's okay if they have a good smell. In fact, it's interesting. When we light candles for Shabbat, there's both the mitzvah of respecting Shabbat, Kvod Shabbat, and also Oneg Shabbat, taking pleasure in Shabbat. So if you have scent coming out of them, why not? Next question, can Shabbat candles be blown out? And the answer for that is a very big no, because once Shabbat comes in, that's it. No turning anything on or off until the next day, until 3 stars are out. So Shabbat candles cannot be blown out. So make sure you're lighting them in a place that you're comfortable with. It's safe, it's good, enjoyable. That's the story with blowing them out. Next question is, can Shabbat candles be lit early? And that is a crucial question. Why? Because when you light Shabbat candles, usually that means that you're also accepting Shabbat on yourself. Now, bear with me. Although Shabbat begins technically at sundown, Friday night, one can begin it a bit earlier, about an hour and a half or so. And so once you accept Shabbat on yourself, there's no outs, there's no backsies. So when you light Shabbat candles, you're accepting Shabbat on yourself. So if you're lighting it a half an hour before Shabbat, just bear in mind that you are starting Shabbat a half an hour early. Now, if you explicitly have in mind, or state even better, that you are not accepting Shabbat on yourself, you can do that. So if you're lighting Shabbat candles, not accepting Shabbat on yourself, and you're doing it a half an hour before Shabbat, it's okay, but one condition. The candles have to burn until the time when you're going to accept Shabbat, and you'll be able to derive benefit from them during your Shabbat meal. So just keep that in mind. So bottom line is, can you light Shabbat candles early? Yes. 2 options. A, you'll be starting Shabbat early. B, the candles can be burn long enough so that you enjoy them during your meal, which will begin later. Next question is, can I light Shabbat candles late? Also very important question. Can I light Shabbat candles late? The answer is, what do you mean by late? Anytime after sundown Friday night, big no-no. You cannot light Shabbat candles after sundown, and it's much, much preferable to not have any Shabbat candles than to light Shabbat candles after sundown. So Shabbat is a blessing, we honor it, but if you didn't have the chance to light those candles before Shabbat, it's a much greater way to honor Shabbat by observing it and not lighting any candles after sundown. So that's in terms of lighting them late. Next question is so important. Can a man light Shabbat candles early? Can a man light Shabbat candles early? Can a man light Shabbat candles, period? Well, the answer is, not only a man can light Shabbat candles, but a man is obligated. What does that mean? It means if there is a woman, the women have first dibs, they get priority in terms of lighting the Shabbat candles. So if you have a man and a woman living together, the woman gets the first dibs if she wants. But if there's no woman, if no one else is lighting the Shabbat candles for you, then a man is actually obligated. I remember when I was living out on my own as a student, I sometimes was home for Shabbat on my own in my dorm room, and I lit Shabbat candles, because if there's no one else there, if you're not participating in a meal where someone's lighting it instead of you, guys, light your Shabbat candles. Next is a question, can a Noahide observe the Shabbat? Can a Noahide observe the Shabbat? The answer is nope. Shabbat is a Jewish thing. Its concepts are universal. Its beauty is recognized by all, but it's meant for Jews. Now, of course, a non-Jew can join a Shabbat meal, whatever it is. But in terms of the restrictions, holding back from doing any kind of even turning on a light, etc., for that you need to be Jewish. Next question is, can you start Shabbat early, which I think I spoke to? And the answer to that is yes. You got to look on your local Zmanim website. I recommend my Zmanim, Zmanim, and they'll tell you when Plag HaMincha is. Usually it's about an hour and a half before sunset. As long as you're after that time of Plag HaMincha, which is about an hour and a half before sunset, you can start Shabbat early. Just remember, no backsies. So if you're starting, you're going all the way through. Next question is, what are the Shabbat cans and can't do's? Now, this is a tough question because there are actually 39 categories of work that can not be done on Shabbat. And so, basically, it's all those 39. You got to look them up, the 39 melachot of Shabbat. And besides for those, there are also rabbinic prohibitions, like touching money, hammers, touching anything that's used for forbidden work on Shabbat. There's also prohibitions that came at the time of the prophets. The book of Isaiah famously, Im tashiv mi Shabbat raglecha, the prohibition on planning for mundane events that will take place after Shabbat. So there's a lot of can and can'ts do. You can spend years just studying them, but in short, the answer is cannot do the 39 melachot, the 39 categories of work. All right, next question is, can non-Jews attend Shabbat? And the answer is yes, please do. We've had several non-Jews as Shabbat guests. We've had guests from India, China, really all over. Absolutely, it's a beautiful thing. So yes, non-Jews can attend the Shabbat meal, and in fact, anyone can attend the Shabbat meal. That is the next question. The next question is, again, a lot of questions of what kind of works can you not do, types of work can you not do on Shabbat, and that is of course the 39 categories of melachot on Shabbat of Shabbat. Next question is, what do you say when lighting Shabbat candles? Very important. What do you say when lighting Shabbat candles? So it's interesting. Most brachot are observed. Are made, most blessings are made before you light the Shabbat, before you do a mitzvah. With Shabbat candles, it's not like that, because once you accept Shabbat, you can't light the candles. So what people do is they light the candles, they extinguish the match, they put their hands over their eyes, and they say the following bracha: Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kideshanu b'mitzvotav V'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat. Blessed are you, Hashem, who have sanctified us with your mitzvot and commanded us to light the candles of Shabbat. You can find the text of lighting Shabbat candles all over the internet. Just look it up. Next question is, can you light Shabbat candles with a lighter? Very good question, and the answer is, of course, yes. You can light Shabbat candles with a lighter. Next question is, do you blow out the Shabbat candles? Remember, if you light the candles, usually that means you're accepting Shabbat at the time, unless you state otherwise explicitly. And so once sunset has come, for sure you cannot blow them out, but even before it, there's no blowing out Shabbat candles. Next question is a really good one. Can you reuse Shabbat candles? And the answer is, for a technical reason, not. Why? Because you can't blow them out. So if you light Shabbat candles, even if they burn for 10 hours, by the time it's the end of Shabbat, those candles have burnt out. So if the wind blew out your Shabbat candles, yes, you can reuse them. But usually the candle burnt out, so there's nothing really you can do. Alrighty, next question is, I love this question. Is can you cook during Shabbat? Can you cook during Shabbat? Cooking or baking or frying or barbecuing are one of the 39 melachot of Shabbat, 39 categories of work on Shabbat, and therefore you can't. But what you can do is you can do it before Shabbat. You can make sure it's cooked enough. It has to be at least a third or half cooked. And you can leave it on what we call a blech or a plata or a hot plate. I have a whole other video about that and exactly how, but yes, you can leave it on, and that's how you have a slow cooker or a crock pot. So the answer is, you can't cook on Shabbat. You can initiate the cooking, but if most of the cooking that was done before Shabbat, you keep it on and then enjoy the food that you eat. In fact, the famous food cholent The Jewish food cholent comes from this custom, the Jewish custom of making sure that we eat something hot on Shabbat day, and so you leave it on the fire, and that's fine. Alrighty, a few more questions here. Can you say enjoy Shabbat? Yes, you can, but usually the typical answer is, usually the typical greeting or wish is Shabbat Shalom. You say Shabbat Shalom. Alrighty, next question is, can you shower during Shabbat? That's a really difficult question. Usually the answer is no, unless there's some kind of exception, such as someone's dirty or whatever. In that case, you might use cold water, because you can't heat any water on Shabbat. And remember, when you take a hot shower, there's more hot water coming into the boiler. So in general, the answer is no. Of course, there can be exceptions with a baby, pre-prepared hot water, etc. Not going to get into all of that now. Alrighty, next question is, can you eat during Shabbat? Not only can you eat during Shabbat, but it is a commandment, a mitzvah, to eat on Shabbat. It's a very big mitzvah to eat on Shabbat. Next question, can you exercise on Shabbat? Ooh, it's a tough one. Yes and no. You cannot exercise for the sake of exercise, but if you're walking to synagogue or just walking to enjoy yourself, you need to get out of the house and you need to grab some fresh air, that's okay. So yes, you can walk, but no running or exercising for the sake of exercising. You can take a walk. All right, next. Can you study during Shabbat? Tough question. Are you able to study during Shabbat? The answer is dependent on two things. A, preparation. You cannot study in a way that you're saying, oh, I'm doing this to prepare for my test on Monday. However, if the topic that you're studying has intrinsic value that transcends the actual test. For example, you are studying Torah, which is always valuable. You are studying medicine, something like that. You can study on Shabbat because it's wisdom that is a mitzvah. It's important to study. But if you're studying for your accounting test or your test in, I don't know, something that's not going to go into general life, or it's going to only be limited to work or something like that, no, you cannot study on Shabbat. And even when it's permitted, don't say you're doing it for the sake of preparation. You're doing it for the sake of taking in the wisdom. Next question is a very, very good one. How do you start keeping Shabbat? Well, good question. What I suggest is find a local rabbi, a Chabad rabbi, Orthodox rabbi that is familiar with all the aspects of Shabbat, and ask them. They will help you. They will help you make sure you get the Shabbat right. Alrighty, thank you for listening. Leave any questions or comments in the comment section.